Hello lovely traders, welcome back to ChrisFX. I hope you're doing great, both in life and in trading. Today we're going to be talking about support and resistance secrets. How to draw support and resistance properly, guys, how not to draw support and resistance, and everything associated with support and resistance. Now, before we begin with our video, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I telling you what to do or what not to do. Trading is purely your own responsibility, and whatever you do it at your own risk. With that being said, and without any further to say, let's begin with our video. So guys, not only am I gonna show you how to draw support and resistance properly, but at the same time, I'm going to post a screenshot from a trade that I took this week, one of the trades that I took this week with exactly this method that I'm gonna teach you right now. This method, guys, is pretty simple, and I'm gonna take you through this method step by step. And the title of the video is Support and Resistance Secrets, because this is exactly how you are supposed to draw support and resistance. At least this is how I do it to identify powerful zones in the market. So let's start with myth number one. Myth number one for every beginner who wants to draw support and resistance is that support and resistance are just a simple line, a simple horizontal line. Let's take this example over here and you say, this is a beautiful support. And you draw this line. Let's say that you draw it right here at this spot over here. Let me zoom in. Okay, you have this touch, you have this previous touch, and almost a touch. And the number one mistake beginners make is that you think that the price has to come exactly back at this level. And if it doesn't just touch this level becomes invalid. This is a mistake, guys, and I will show you why it is a mistake. Myth number two. Myth number two is that support and resistance are just small zones. The forex market is not a drawing class regarding who is gonna make the perfect line or the perfect area, and this is why I'm gonna show you the myth number two. The myth number two, which is close to reality but not totally the reality, not the pure reality, is that you have to draw a small zone. For example, we have this part over here and you draw something like that. And you think that this is your support right now. Again, many beginners are going to wonder, and I want to give you this information on powerful support and resistance secrets, because if you're a beginner, you might think that, if I pass this small area that I have drawn over here, then this level once again becomes invalid. This is a mistake once again, guys, because support and resistance are bigger areas. You have to draw it appropriately, and I'm gonna take you step by step, and then I'm gonna reveal the ultimate secret, as I want to call it for this video. How are we going to draw properly support and resistance zones? Now, if you trade, let's say, on the 1 hour time frame or the 4 hour time frame, so you are most of a swing trader, let's say, then you will have to check the daily time frame mostly. For example, I go to the daily time frame, and what do I see? For example, I see that I have this zone, and it is a zone. You can draw the zone either like that you can include the bottom of your bodies and the whole wicks over here, or you can do this thing. You can grab your line tool and place one line here and then another line here. And you may ask right now, Chris, this zone is huge, because if I go down to the 1 hour time frame, you see, how the heck is that a zone, Chris? This is huge. Exactly, this is huge, and this is a zone. Now, in case you want to trade on your 15 or 5-minute charts, you're gonna go down to your 4 hour chart and identify the most important zones once again, the most important support and resistance zones. Generally, I prefer doing both because I do intraday and swing trading at the same time. So I'm now on the 4 hour chart. We are gonna show the example, guys, do not worry. And I wanna draw, let's say, a resistance zone. Where do I see an area that has been tested many, many times? If I see this, and this, and here again, that's an area. So if I grab something like that, a huge zone, An area would be something like that right now, guys. And again, you may ask, how, Chris? This is like huge. How am I gonna know if the price reverses from this whole area or something like that? And we're gonna get to that, do not worry. Now, you can again do something that maybe is more handy, because you can go back to the past and also check more areas. You see this area over here. This same area that you see over here is the same area with this one, because if I grab this tool and do that, you see it's tested here and here at the same time. And also we have this, and this level. So this is a major area, a major resistance area, because price has reacted at least 2 times in the past, and it has reacted significantly. So the way I would draw my area with a line, with a dotted line in this specific case, not that it matters, I'm just using this line, I would place another one over here. And why did I do that? Because I want to include as many wicks as possible in the game, because it's not just this line, as we said, or it's not a small area like that. You have to be realistic. Why do we draw those zones? Because price may react through this whole area. Because here, to be more precise here, and why did I draw it here? If I zoom in, once we said the bottom line has been tested here, here, all these times, and this upper line has included those wicks, and also here, guys, it was support, support, support again. Okay, so support, 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 resistance, 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 resistance. This is a whole beautiful area. And as you saw, price reacted once again here. And the trade we took is over here. We're gonna show the trade. Now, what happens with these areas? Because I promised I'm gonna tell you what happens with those areas, because they're pretty huge. And if I go down to the 15-minute chart, as I promised, it's this huge area. Huge, as you can see. It's not a line. So you may ask, how do I know, Chris, that I'm not placing a sell order here and then the price throws me out over here? Well, you're gonna know why. Because what we are searching in order to enter a trade is specific price action movements and patterns, as also specific candlestick patterns. Now, these patterns are valid wherever they occur in a chart. But guess what? They are way more valid, and they should only be traded when they happen in an area. And this is the whole mystery of support and resistance. It's not like the price has to come here, and if the price just touches here, I want to place a sell order, for example. No. If you have rules, for example, that say that I want to trade patterns like this candlestick formation and I place an order, let's say, underneath this candle, that's an example. I'm not trading like that. If you have a rule like that, then you want to apply your rule when this formation happens in a resistance area. So if this beautiful formation over here, if you trade this formation for some reason, if this formation happens here in the middle of nowhere, even though it might win a couple of trades, you will not make money like that. But if you trade it in a zone like that over here, then the pattern has significance. Then the pattern has value. And this is the whole secret. And this is why this video title is Support and Resistance Secrets. Okay, now let's get back to our example and one of the trades that I took this week. And I'm gonna use the replay tool for this reason, because we were somewhere like here, okay? And when I was here, exactly here, and we have bullish candles being formed, 1 here and 2 here, of course the price is going up. Now, the whole movement of the price, if you zoom out, of course we are in a downtrend, because we are making lower lows and lower highs, and we have this pretty choppy movement. We would say over here the price is kind of consolidating now here on the bottom. For the moment, what we saw when I was right here, let's remove those horizontal lines at the bottom for the purpose of demonstrating how I thought my whole process. So when we were at this spot, let's say over here, you can also see the date, check out the date. Now it's the 22nd and here we have the 20th. When I was right here, I said, why did price react from this level? Because we have this zone. If I draw it a little bit upwards, if you see, because I want to include this beautiful wick that you see over here. So I have a level, probably a little bit more to the upside. There we are perfect, because now we have included this beautiful part and this beautiful part. And if we go further to the past, these other parts. And as I explained, we have to include this wick too, in case price comes back to retest this area. So we have this area. Now I understand why price reacted from this level. It was a pretty significant level, being support more than one times in the past. And then I said, where is the most likely level that price is going to react from? Because the price is moving upwards, as we see now, like we have two bullish candles. So where is price going to find the resistance? And I said, I have a level over here, of course. Why? Let's remove those lines. I don't want to confuse you guys, because right now we're right here. So I said, we have this beautiful level because it has been resistance here, and here it was support, and here it was small resistance, and here it was resistance again. But as we said, it is an area. I have to include the wicks. So I said, if price reacts, it's going to react in this area. So I was expecting something like that. And if this would happen, I would go down to the 15-minute chart. And let's remove this very ugly line. I would go down to the 15-minute chart. I would wait for an M formation, a double top formation, and then I would place a trade if my criteria would be satisfied. And now let's move forward and see if my criteria were satisfied and even if price reacted to this level, guys. And as we see, we move forward, we see a small reaction. If I move down to the 15-minute chart, do I see a pattern which I was gonna enter from? No. According to my criteria, no. And I'm going to show you which are my criteria to enter a trade when I'm going to show you the trade later on. Price reacted indeed from this level, but it didn't give me any signal that it's gonna move down, so I just waited and went back to my 4-hour chart. Now, what we were expecting right here were two scenarios. One was saying that the price is gonna come back here and disappear to the upside, and the other scenario was saying, where is my next resistance level? And if I can find the next resistance level, I would draw it somewhere, let's say here, and I want to include this wick also, so probably here, and let's say here at the same time. Okay, so now we have all these zones, and we're gonna see a reaction. We remove this previous zone because now price has passed the zone, and I'm gonna see a reaction. Once I'm in this zone, I'm gonna scale down to the 15-minute chart. And what do I see here, guys? Here I see a beautiful M formation. The M formation is exactly this formation over here. And we are going to make a video on M and W formations. So once I saw this beautiful double top formation and then a bearish candle, I decided to enter my trade right here. Stop loss was above the level. And of course, you could extend it to the next area. Down here, you can go to the 4-hour chart. And since it did not respect this previous area, which is right here, I suppose that this area is not going to be significant. So probably you can extend your trade down here, as I showed you, to the next level. Personally, I took a 1.5 to 1 in this trade. I was sleeping actually because I placed the trade during the night, and when I woke up, targets were already hit. If I would be awake, then I would manage the trade, I would have closed partial profits, and then I would have let the rest of the trade run until the next level. This didn't happen though, so let's go back to the 15-minute chart. I had my entry over here, I have to make this a bit smaller, and let's see how this trade played. Remember, I have put my stop loss above this level. The reason is because if we go to the 4-hour chart, the way we drew our levels is, I think, if price goes even above the last week that we have over here, then I think that the resistance is invalidated, and then probably price is gonna do something like that. Then we're gonna be looking at this area as a support area, okay, for a pullback and support. So now we are perfectly fine and safe, and let's see how this trade played. Okay, it goes a bit upwards, and then we go. I'm gonna fast forward this thing, and then you go boom. I hit targets, and if I would be awake, look what price did since then, guys. It was an amazing, amazing movement. And again, as you can see, price reacted from this previously support level, this previously drawn level. If I move down to my 15-minute chart though, this time I do not have a valid entry, not an entry that would satisfy my criteria at least. So this is why I did not re-enter the trade for a buy, because you could potentially re-enter the trade for a buy here. Okay, this is why I did not re-enter over here, but we were able to catch a 1.5 to 1 in a smaller time frame. Once again, lovely traders, in order to sum things up, let's delete those lines over here. And first of all, what a support and resistance area does not look like. A support and resistance is not a line. It's not this line that price has to come and exactly touch it, or just go below it and touch it and leave. This is a mistake. Number two, support and resistance areas are not just small areas because we like drawing lessons, and it's not something like that because it looks fancy and beautiful. Support and resistance have to fulfill a purpose, and this is drawing the whole area from which support has reacted at least twice in the past. Okay, and if I were to do it correctly, it would be right here, because here we have all this area, we have this weak touch and all this area. And if you don't like to draw areas, you can double click and change colors. Of course, you can do it white or whatever you want, but you can also use these lines where you can place the line, the one line right here, double click the line if you want it dashed or dotted or whatever, or if you want it to be more thick, you can do it over here. So you place the first line here and the second line over here, and it's exactly the same thing. If you scroll back also, guys, to see the past, you will see that the price has reacted from this area multiple times in the past. This gives extra significance to your support or resistance levels. So this method is exactly the same with placing this huge area using the rectangle tool over here. It's exactly the same thing, but it is not, once again, it is not just a line, and it is not just a very, very small fancy area because it looks more beautiful, let's say. Okay, so traders, hopefully I made the concept of drawing support and resistance levels very clear for you and very simple, especially if you are a beginner. Hopefully you found extra value in this educational video. And in case you found the video helpful, then please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be providing more and more free educational content. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.